How's it going? Charles Botenson here. Today we're going to be talking about relationships, okay? And actually something that just really bothers me, it really bothers me, is that when I see a relationship and they've been married for, say, a year, or they just started dating for 2 months, or they've been married for 30 years, it doesn't matter. Just when you don't see that passion, when you only just see the argumentative, when you only see just clawing at each other and that hostility, and you're like, why? And listen, I am not one to judge, even though I'm completely judging right now, but the reason being is that you can easily fix it. I understand. Once you're married, there's something called the law of familiarity. The law of familiarity. In other words, anything, it doesn't matter. You have a brand new car, you have a brand new house, you have a new suit, you have anything that you buy that's like really nice and cool, and you just got it. Like, or you're in a new relationship. You're like, oh my God, I'm in a new relationship. This is so cool. And then time just starts breaking it down. It just starts, a year passes, then 2 years, and then it becomes a roommate. Or that car, that Ferrari, or that brand new house isn't as cool anymore because you've been there. It's the law of familiarity. That's why you need, which is certainty. The law of familiarity, I know I'm butchering the word, whatever, is really the law of certainty. You know it's going to be there. You know your Ferrari or your brand new house or your wife or whatever is going to be predictable. They're going to be there when you come home. They're going to say probably roughly the same thing. How was your day? What did you do? How are the kids? How was work? And then you get into a routine, and then it's boring and it's certain. As Tony Robbins says, you need uncertainty in life. You need uncertainty. So what is uncertainty? Uncertainty is the spice of the relationship, the attraction, the love, the passion. You have to bring that back, because when you first get a new car, a new house, a new job, a new partner, a new relationship, it doesn't matter. You're figuring it out. You're getting to understand the new job, and it's fun, it's exciting, it's unpredictable, and that's the spice. So how do you do that in a relationship? And this is the biggest thing. Listen, I am a single guy. And we go through all these, by 18, you have to go to college. By 22, you have to graduate college and enter the workforce. 25, 27, you start dating someone. 30, you have to be married. By 32, you have to have at least 2 kids, if not more. And then you just live with your spouse. It's like, for me, I know that's gonna suck. It's gonna be like, it's gonna blow my mind. Like, I cannot live with that. That is way too in the box thinking. I pretend like there is no box. It's like why even have boundaries? Just have like nothing, air, and just create whatever you want. So this is the biggest thing, is that there's a guy, Gary Vaynerchuk, and he is producing one of the best content, or he's one of the best content producing, in my opinion, for what I'm looking for. He's married, he's running 2 businesses, he's probably 3 businesses. He has a huge personal brand as well, and he's married with 2 kids. And that's the kind of life, and that's the kind of understanding I would want in my partner, is that my business, I'm good, he travels a lot, he speaks a lot, but him and his wife are very independent, and I'm going to need an independent person. I was also watching podcast with what's her name, the woman that started Spanx, her name is escaping me. She got married, and they're also both very independent. They got married at like 39 and 40 respectively, and now he's about 50. He just came out with a book called Living with a Seal. I don't know, but it was actually a very interesting podcast. And what he said is that it just works. And it's the same thing with me. But the reason it works, and the reason that you need spice, is it's like you go on a vacation or you go to a bachelor party and then you come home. Like, why is that exciting? It's because you're away for a week or a weekend or whatever. Or you're on a camping trip separate from each other, and then you come back to each other, and then you're like, oh, how was it? Oh, it's exciting. That little break, that unpredictability was what made it fun, is that you need that. If you do the same routine, you wake up together, you shower together, maybe, hopefully, brush your teeth, and then you go to work, you come home, and it's just a routine. It's boring. So how do you break it up? This is how you break it up. You need to be unpredictable. Number one is that with your actual personality, you need to be growing. That's the number one thing, is you need to be growing. You need to be trying something new. You need to have a different hobby or a different passion or something like that. For me, it's like every single year I want to try something new. This year it's skydiving. Next year it's going to be a motorcycle. The year after that it's going to be a helicopter pilot. Like I already have that in my mind, that like that's what I'm going to be doing. So how do you do it outside of your personality besides grow and become a better person? By the way, you both need to grow. If one person's growing without the other, it is not good. It is not good. That is the recipe of divorce, of fighting, because one person is growing, expanding, getting better, pushing their boundaries, they're pushing their fears, and then the other person is stagnant. And like I said in other movies or other YouTube clips, is that you're not stagnant, you're actually decreasing. You can't stay stagnant. It's impossible. You're either growing or you're dying. And I mean mentally, not physically, because physically we're all dying. But how do you spice it up outside of that? So number one is notes. Notes are so important. You write like a little cute note that says, "Hey honey, miss you," or whatever. Leave it, "I love you. Hope you had an amazing day." Hope you have an amazing day. When you wake up, you put it on, in the bathroom or on the kitchen or on their steering wheel or their car seat or the couch or their pillow or whatever. And you just leave little notes throughout the day, or a little funny joke, or, "Hey, this is something that happened." Here's another one: writing actual notes and mailing it, snail mailing it to their office. Or that's amazing, by the way. Notes, handwritten note, or a text message randomly. This is all randomly. This isn't predictable. This isn't like Valentine's Day or their birthday or whatever. Do it outside of that, so they're always on their feet. That's really what it comes down to. So a text message or funny GIF, GIF, which is like an "I love you" or whatever, or like "just thinking about you, can't wait to see you later," or whatever. Something small that just keeps that relationship spiced up. As well, is that you take separate trips. I just heard this from, I don't think it was Tim Ferriss. Someone else just said, some dating guy on a podcast said, take separate trips. You go somewhere, they go somewhere for the weekend, and then you come back on Monday, and then you get to discuss it. Or you come back on Sunday, and then you discuss it, and it's new, it's fun, it's exciting, da-da-da. You need that independence, that spice. Also, as well, is that you buy a rose and you just put it down on their pillow at night or on their driver's seat or whatever. It's like, do certain things. Have unpredictable responses sometimes. If she thinks that you're going to have, "How was your day?" and be like, "It was amazing," if you normally say it sucked. Or if you say, "Hey, listen, I'm going to be doing that." The reason that we need this is because it motivates them to be a better person as well. Like if I start leaving notes around, say I was married and I'm 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, whatever, and I start leaving notes around and "I love you, oh my god," or, get cute, think of a joke, whatever. You have to spice it up. If I start doing that, guess what? She's going to start doing it. But the funny thing is, you don't need to do it for that reason. You do it because you want to do it. You do it because you want to spice up the relationship. It's a law of familiarity. That's why people lease cars. That's why for me is that every year I get a new iPhone. That's like not my big purchase. That's probably my big purchase. But every year, that's what I'm waiting for. Like, that's my excitement, is like better camera, better software, hardware, everything just combined. And I love my new iPhone, but it's unpredictable when it's going to come out and blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing. It's like, what big thing are you doing? And I'm not talking about big gifts or big prizes or something huge. Writing a note, things like that. Have dinner ready. Say, "Hey, listen, honey, I got everything. Don't worry about it." You go and you make dinner. You got a little glass of wine, spice it up, please. Relationships are so boring that I've seen, and it bothers me. And I know you're totally judging right now, and I'm totally judging as well. You're judging me because you're a single guy. But the thing is, the reason it's going to work for me is because I don't want it to be boring. That's the biggest reason why I haven't settled down or whatever. And by the way, I'm not even thinking about that right now. Like, I know I'm a rising stock, and I know that like my career right now, as opposed in 2 years and 5 years, it's going to be totally different. So why am I going to get married now to someone that is going to be looking at me and I'm hopefully, I don't want to explain it, but it's all about growth. It's all about, you're on this journey together. There's some great relationships. There's this one guy, Laird something. He's a big wave surfer. His wife is beautiful. He's a handsome guy. He's 50 years old. That's the biggest thing, is that they're on this journey together. They have 2 beautiful daughters or 3 beautiful daughters or whatever. It's like the perfect postcard. And you know what? He's still on his passion. As David Data says, you have to be on your passion. Men, please, you have to be on your passion. You can't. That's why in a woman's mind, you're sexy. She's like, oh, he's sexy. He fixes cars and he also has a 9-to-5 job, or he also does something on the side. It's the same thing with Gary Vaynerchuk. So I know this is way longer than I wanted it to be, but you need a spice in your life. All right, subscribe to the videos. I wrote a blog post about this. It's pretty much the same thing. It's not as exciting as the video. Obviously, I have a podcast. All the links are below to social mediums. Have an awesome day. Spice up your life. Make it unpredictable. It's too predictable. All right. Have an awesome day.